need to get this makeup off my face. And because I'm having a flare-up of my perioral dermatitis, I'm going to be using the products that I grab when my skin is having a flare-up. So products that are extremely good for super sensitive skin. So I'm going to start off with taking off my makeup with the Bioderma Sensibio. Then I'm going to follow up with my cleanser, which is from La Roche-Posay Toleriane. And then I'm going to be using Toleriane Sensitive Cream. This was recommended to me by my pharmacy today because technically they say when you have a flare-up of perioral dermatitis, then you should just use water on your skin. But I have oily skin and I wear makeup, and so I need to take my makeup off, and I also need to rehydrate my face, even though I do have combination to oily skin. So I don't like the idea of not using absolutely any products to cleanse and to moisturize. So that is why I am going to be using these two. This one, the cleanser, I have used before when I've had perioral dermatitis. It's really good. It just takes time. This I haven't used before, but I do need a moisturizer because especially in this area here of my mouth where I have it, the skin is actually cracking, because obviously this is an area in the face where that you move a lot, you know, you laugh, you yawn, whatever. Well, the skin is actually cracking and it's also painful, so I do need a moisturizer because I need to give it some moisture back into the skin. So that's what I'm going to be using. And to take off my makeup, I'm just going to be using disposable cotton rounds. I do have the reusable ones, but they're all in the wash, so today we're using these. Going to be using my trusty but old and very ugly plastic headband to get my fringe or bangs out of the way. I'm going to start off with just warm water, and today I tried a new mascara. It's a tubing mascara from Catrice. I think it's called No Panda Eyes. And we're going to see how this mascara, which held up extremely well, by the way, it didn't flake, it didn't smudge, nothing. And I was kind of sweating today because I was rushing around, and it was raining as well, and it didn't smudge whatsoever. So if this can be removed like a typical tubing mascara, which it should be able to, according to the claims, then this will be a winner. So anyway, I'm going to wet my face with warm water, and then we're going to see how the mascara is removable. Okay, face is wet. Now to see if the tubes are very easily removable. Looks like we have a winner. Ooh, exciting, because so far the only other really affordable tubing mascara that I have found is from e.l.f. and I really like it, but this one is even less expensive and it's a winner. Just going to gently remove my eye makeup. No mascara. So the tubing mascara from Catrice is definitely a winner. There's just something about taking off a full face of makeup at the end of the day that is so satisfying. I love the whole putting on makeup process. I love it because it makes me feel pretty up. But there's just something about taking it off at the end of the day. So around my mouth where I have the perioral dermatitis flare up, I'm going to try and be super gentle. Just let it sit there for a bit to break up the makeup, and then swipe it away very gently. It's so annoying, and anyone who also suffers from perioral dermatitis knows the struggle. And basically it's my own fault because I've been really into Korean skincare and stuff, and I've been doing like lots of different peelings and masks and trying out new moisturizers, and I think one or two of them, like after I use my retinol, my skin gets really dry and flaky, so then I started using a super rich and creamy moisturizer, and it was just too much for my skin to handle. And this is the result. Super annoying, especially because it takes weeks for perioral dermatitis to go away again. So I'm kind of annoyed at myself because I got so carried away with my skincare. But it is what it is, and we're just gonna make the best of it. Just really important to make sure you get all the makeup off your face. And then, like I said, I go in with the cleanser, the one from La Roche-Posay, which is super gentle, and I cleanse twice, and then I will moisturize. I'm going to rinse my face with warm water again, and then I'm going to be using the cleanser. Took a little too much, but no worries, we'll use it. Second cleanse. I always double cleanse in the evenings, especially after wearing makeup. And final rinse. And after I'm finished rinsing my face with warm water, I rinse one last time with ice cold water. I just always do this. I think it makes a difference. At least it helps the circulation get going. But man, the cold water rinse can be a challenge in winter, but still very refreshing. Okay, now we are clean and fresh, and we will pat dry. Oh, so good. Right, so usually once I'm done with cleansing my skin, I will use a toner, but like I said, because I'm having a flare-up, I'm not going to do any toner. I'm literally going to do the bare minimum, which is cleansing my face and then using a moisturizer. And like I said, I'm using the La Roche-Posay Toleriane Sensitive one. It's kind of like a cream gel consistency. It's supposed to be moisturizing but not too heavy, because when you have a flare-up of perioral dermatitis, you also don't want to use anything that is too heavy and too rich on the skin. So that is why at the pharmacy they recommended this one, because there is also a version of this cream that is much more hydrating, so like a kind of like a rich one. I don't know what it's called, but like I said, I especially chose, or they especially advised me to get this one. And I'm going to just be using it as my eye cream, just because I have a separate eye cream, but I don't have it in the bathroom with me, and so I can finish this video with you guys. I'm just going to be using this on my eyes today. And I'm actually really pleasantly surprised, because this gel cream, oh, it also has no fragrance and no alcohol in it, because I was originally going to get a moisturizer from Cetaphil, but then I looked at the ingredients on the back and it said alcohol, and I was like, no alcohol. It's definitely, alcohol is not good for perioral dermatitis, and that's why I'm really pleased that this one has no fragrance and no alcohol. There, we're all done. Now we are going to make some dinner and chill out on the couch until we fall asleep. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this video is helpful to some of you, and I will be doing some check-ins to see how my progress is on the perioral dermatitis. Love you guys. See you in my next video.